be in conversation, and then I'll open up the floor to questions. So anyone of the audience, whether you're on YouTube, on LinkedIn, use your chat function and we'll endeavour to put those questions to Dr. Walaa. If you're using the Zoom link, also use the chat function there. You can raise your hand and we will ask those questions directly and get some of her expert experience. So without further ado, Dr. Walaa, I want to dive straight in just because we haven't got that much time. 1 hour is a short time to get in everything we need. But first of all, I want to find out what inspired you to pursue a career in applied chemistry.
Actually, I'm inspired by my father. He was dead in my first year in the university. He was a geologist and also academic staff member. So my childhood always we've been in the lab and also in the university. So I'm admitted to be a scientist. Just I joined to my high school and also the college. I'm being fantastic by science. Dreaming by connect research and industry and find solution to everything we have faced during our life via science, actually. So my PhD and also my master's degree focus on the environmental solution for air pollution and also water treatment, something that we face today.
So you mentioned it's something that you've been around since you were a child because of your father. I wondered, did you both get into the same type of career? Are you both studying or do you both research the same types of things?
Actually, not the same topic. He was a geologist and I'm a chemist. But the general umbrella was the science and the labs, the experimentals, the academic teaching, all the stuff related to the academia was in my child.
Now, you've studied this extensively, but I would like to find out, is there something that you might be able to share with us that was maybe the most exciting or impactful research project that you've worked on?
Actually, recently this week, I have chosen for the Egypt US fund for a mega project for $20 million. So this was a fantastic achievement, being staff in such projects, mega project between Egypt and USA, dealing with water treatment actually as a huge problem today to be finding or preventing water toxicity or providing the green source water.
So will this be a team of people that you'll be working with on this project?
Yes. Actually, my professor here in Egyptian Petroleum Research Institute and also from my university, in addition to the partnership with WIA University in USA.
And when will this be starting? It sounds incredibly exciting.
Thank you.
Is it starting soon?
No, it will be started on October.
Okay. So you've
officially started in October.
Right. Okay. So you've got some time. Now, what about, you've also worked with the Egyptian Petroleum Research Institute as well. Can you share any projects or any research that you did with them that you found really impactful?
Yes, sure. Being a staff member here in Egyptian Petroleum Research Institute, we deal here with the industry mainly, providing chemicals, providing analysis, providing consultancy, also training of students from university and final project years. Mainly here we focus on petroleum problems. From drilling, inspections, and the whole umbrella of petroleum extraction. We have many projects funded from ASRT here from Egypt and also STDF, dealing with such problems like how to provide a new chemical or a new material dealing with the inspection or the drilling process of petroleum. Actually, I'm a member of 3 projects here, and also a member of Center for Chemical Providing Center, and also analytical labs for as a certified center.
Mhm. And how would you say that the work that you've done or the projects you've worked on has contributed to the advancement in the petroleum or chemical industries?
Actually, it's the first step to link industry with academia, but we still didn't the main goal or the main dream to be the main partner for industry to providing any solution or R&D solution for industry. Here in Egypt, we didn't deal with this meaning or solution deeply, as we also depends on the imports and the external providers from USA and Europe. So we struggle with this to convince the consumer with our solutions.
And what would you say is I guess, the best thing about the work that you do? What do you enjoy the most about it?
Uh, the meaning of being a chemist or a scientist, actually being in the lab and inventions of many new products or solution also is a dream or a journey itself.
Now, you're also the founder of SciMediator and an entrepreneur. So can you tell us a bit about the SciMediator?
Yes, of course. Actually, being in the ecosystem of research and development also make me know the main problem of researchers here in Egypt. Actually, for a researcher, we need many analytical tools, many infrastructures, many scientific meaning of tools to be validate or provide concept of what we do. The map or the data information for every analytical tool or every infrastructure provided in Egypt is missing. So we have a great gap between science and scientists and also its facilities. So we think for a database which collect all the information about all data, all infrastructure, all devices or chemical company, which will be founded in one platform. So we did that, and we also founded our startup by the meaning of the first company or startup in Egypt which provide this data without any fees for the first time. And also providing a consultancy of what is the results of every analytical tool, what is the explanation of every device output. So we, from 2 years ago, we have a great steps in this startup, and we hope to be internationally founded.
So you've mentioned it took about 2 years to set this up.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
support have you had in creating it? So I'm guessing, was this an idea that you had? You realized that there was this lack of infrastructure. What then did you do? Did you find partners or people who supported you? How did you get to this stage now?
First of all, we have a great support from our institution here in Egypt, from my institution, EPRI, and also an incubator also for new startups in Nile University for providing mentors, providing data, providing whatever we need to establish the law frame of our company. Also, the main obstacle was the funds to find the one who will be fund you. But the mentorship is the main course for being founded and established, which is provided here from our institution and Nile University.
So you mentioned the mentorship there. That's something that is also on offer.
Actually, from WIA, we have recently have a great mentorship session, and actually, it's the main output of this program for me: mentorship, networking, and also how to find a partnership and how to find your founder, how do you find your customer or your segment, target segment. It's the main benefit we also get from WIA.
So we're going to come on to your journey as a young leader with the Women in Africa slightly later on in the webinar. I want to stay with your the entrepreneurship as well. So creating this SciMediator, what advice would you give to scientists who maybe like you want to transition into entrepreneurship?
Just believe in yourself and your dream, and also try to networking and get how as you can build your network and your relationships to find your partners in the future easily. Also dream in your goal and work on it. Take your mentors, which will provide you all the data, and they will be the godfather for you during the journey. Also, study and study and study. Don't stop in case you will be a professor. Just keep in studying.
Now, in terms of your own journey, studying to get to Dr. Walaa, what, I guess, advice would you give to someone else? Because from what I understand from many people who have become doctors or studying PhDs, it's quite a long journey and it can be incredibly tough. So what advice would you give to someone else who's maybe thinking about starting that journey and also to stay on that journey and complete it?
Actually, the first thing, you will be passionate for what you work and what you will learn. Be patient. Take the time you need. Don't be hurry because the journey is too long. The studying doesn't stop. Actually, for myself, I'm started from 5 years before my owner. Uh, I actually focus on chemistry or applied chemistry. But during my journey, I entered into the engineering study by luck. I went to Waterloo University in Canada uh, as a visiting researcher for design system department, just to learn how to operate a workstation which doesn't exist in Egypt anymore. So I take 2 years of my journey studying the engineering part of the system, which is not my career or my specialize. So be patient to learn everything you want to build your career and to be recognized in the future.
So you really have to be passionate about the work that you're going to do to help you stay motivated to stay on it.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah. So how would you say, I guess you spoke a bit about your past, you spoke about the influences of your father and always being in a lab, but how did that early experience really shape who you are now and keeps you going, keeps fueling you to want to research and do more and also getting to this entrepreneurship space?
From the first step during my child, I actually I inspired by what I saw during my childhood from how the science be magic, how you will do fantastic things from air, from water, from liquids. So inspired me magically how to be recognized by yourself. You will do an innovation and you will be recognized, you will be honored, you will be seen. So I focused on science. I learned every part of science I get in. I do my best. I take advice from my mentor, from which is my father God, from the beginning, and also my mentor from work and also from university. So I put in the right way.
Now, you've mentioned mentorship quite a bit throughout the webinar so far. So I want to find out, how many mentors do you have, and how did you go about finding those mentors?
Actually, from my experience, I have three mentors. Basically, my father and also my supervisor during my master's degree, and my supervisors during also my PhD degree. Each one of them is specialized in a topic of science, but far away from the entrepreneurship. I started to finding out some new mentors for these topics, like commercial and low frames, and how to sell, and how to being in the market, how to get your customer or target customer, how to satisfy your customer. All of these things are far away from scientists. So you should need and you should find the right mentor for this. But actually, I have the scientific part of mentorship.
Okay, so how important do you find having those different mentors?
Um, Actually, during my session or workshop in an incubator for entrepreneurship, I find many mentors who worked on the startup or new projects. But to find a specific mentor for your target, it's not an easy process. So you should network, you should talk, and you should convince who are talking with, to be trust and to be the owner of your idea and your project, like yourself. So it's not an easy to be recognized by your mentorship who you need actually.
So it's important to have someone that's there supporting you.
Yes, yes.
The other thing that I wanted to just touch on, now you're in an industry that usually, depending on where you live, can be quite male dominated. What advice would you give for other women who want to get into STEM careers such as yourself?
It's not an easy not an easy to be an entrepreneurship and to be a woman. For me to be a woman, to be a scientist, to be a Muslim, to be a single. It's all collected in one person. But actually, you should be trusting yourself and your dream, and to work on it, and neglect any negative comments you are hearing. To focus in your topic, to learn, to study, and to build your career, to be recognized, and to convince all the audience who are and what can you do. Actually, I didn't achieve anything right now, but I'm sure I'll be one day.
Well, we're speaking today because you're one of the Women in Africa's young leaders. So you have that. So you mentioned something I think that's quite important, that you have quite a few firsts that you're doing as a woman, as a Muslim woman. Have there been times where there's been any type of negativity? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Here in Egypt, we didn't face this many times, but you should be married, you should be take care of your child, and just stay in your home. Don't do any effort. You will be hosted. This is the traditional thinking we are living in. But to change this concept, you have to do many efforts, do it ethically with what we should do. So it's very difficult to convince your audience and your traditional thinking, but what you are doing. So it's not easy for me, actually.
And what advice would you give for someone else who might be in a similar situation, or dealing with maybe cultural norms or stereotypes, and how they can, I guess, overcome that?
Be patient. The patience is the key factor in your journey. If you struggling, if you didn't establish your plan, your idea, or your career, how will be it will going, you will be full in the middle of your way. So be ordered, be patient, be calm, and also doesn't stop to work, doesn't stop to learn, doesn't stop to study, and being trust with yourself.
So believing in yourself and sticking with your plan.
Yes, yes.
So you're in academia, but I want to find out how academic research can better be translated, I guess, into real world applications, especially in developing economies like Egypt.
For us at an academia, just we deal with an R&D, research and development. You do your work, you experiment, you publish it, you convince it that that's the end of your journey. But if you believe in what you work, you will have a positive impact with this. By applying this on the land, linking the industry with your research, being on the land is the key rule to summarize what you are working. For me, I link it with many manufacturers and many petroleum companies who are in need with what I'm doing. I actually doing sensors for toxic gases, for water contaminants, toxic water contaminants. So all these devices are imported from outside by a number of dollars. So it's a low cost, so it's a local made devices. I tried to combine these companies with what I do till we become the main supplier for these companies from 2020. So the patients is that is my colleague and my friend in this journey. I'm trying to link academia and research with industry by applying my research on the land, have a positive impact and have a positive feedback also.
And also, I guess with your startup, the SciMediator, that plays a role in that collaboration between research and also industry.
Yes, yes. To find the partnerships with this startup is the main struggle. I collect data from 100 entity, so it's not easy to convince the domain or the partner to give you all his data without any trust or any contract. I go to the Ministry of Higher Education and the Academy of Science and Technology here in Egypt and make the main partnership for me to facilitate my work to collect that data. And actually, it's succeeded. I collect the data from 100 entity and establish my database. The second term is to how to find my customer, and this is done by conference, workshops, networking, and meeting my colleagues from universities, from industries, from the private companies to link what I'm doing with their problems or solutions they needed. And actually, I succeeded also. So I built my partnership, I built my customer, and also built my database or the platform, which is the main course of my startup.
Mm-hmm.
But the commercializations and the sales and the money didn't get the target yet, but it will be one day, inshallah.
Do you think the Middle East and Africa are investing enough in scientific research and innovation?
The Middle East, actually, yes. we could see the United Arab Emirates case study and KSA, Saudi Arabia. A huge and observed change has been done in the scientific research. Egypt, we are trying to do the same role model, but the funding is the obstacle here in Egypt. We need a duplicated or triplet funding resource to do the best case study.
So there's more funding is needed, but I guess in the Middle East it's good to be able to get the funding that's needed.
Yes, yes, we have the great human research and the human scientists, which is the base of R&D, but the funding is the obstacles actually.
What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions people might have about the petroleum industry and chemical research?
Actually, the people which are not specialized in petroleum just learn that it's oil, what we put in our cars, and the diesel, which is in my car. But actually, it's an industry for gas and oil and chemicals, and it's a whole process from extraction and inspection, and also from the petrochemicals analysis process, which is done on the oil itself to be with its features and specification for every car, for every application, for the electricity. It's a main main topic. Actually, we deal here when in Egyptian Petroleum Research Institute and all topics. We have 5 departments from the satellite mapping and inspection to the extraction process, to refinery process, to also the petrochemicals industry, finalized with the chemicals department production. So we cover the 5 main topics of petroleum industry from gas to oil.
Okay. I want to take us on to women in science, which you've been speaking about as well. But I wanted to find out what policies or initiatives would you specifically like to see in Egypt or across Africa to increase female participation in STEM careers?
From my point of view, actually, WIA have a great initiative dealing with African women with entrepreneurship concept. If we applied such initiatives in all over the Africa, actually, I guess the economic status of the countries in African developing country actually will be raised if we give a chance to the women to be observed and to be on the land. The economic impact will be great. I think just give them the chance and you will see the impact on the land.
Now, have you supported or mentored other young women in science?
Yes. I'm a mentor for a last year project university students for STEM students, actually, engineering and science technology. We try to put these young researchers on the right way for research and development process, and also to engage into the market with their ideas and to how apply these ideas on the land, how to get to the industry to apply your idea. But how to find the fund itself isn't a problem. So during my work as a mentor, I try to link these students with incubators, with the initiatives, with the departments in every entity, which is actually in the recent year in Egypt be seen for entrepreneurship. Actually, we have in Egypt Nile University, British University in Egypt and American University in Egypt, we have many initiatives funded from the USAID and also from the central bank, which encourage the small entities and startups and initiative to entrepreneurship. So my students, I have 3 students have their startup during the last year. So I'm very satisfied and I'm very proud of them. I'm trying. I'm trying.
So you mentioned the women in Africa. You are one of the young leaders that were chosen because of the work that you do. So what was that process like? Where did you find out about the Women in Africa initiative, and what was the process like applying?
During my search, I actually always search. So on LinkedIn, I just seen the ad and I'm trying to apply in the last 13 minutes.
Wow, that's incredibly tight.
And applied in the last 13 minutes of the deadline. But I have a great good luck. I didn't take the option to be selected, but I'm very suddenly take the my email of acceptance and how did but on the LinkedIn there is many ads for such initiatives. I just click the link and apply.
Mhm. And what was the application process like? Was it simple enough?
Yes, very simple enough. And I have an issue with the video uploading, but actually on the WhatsApp I just found Eloise, which helped me very helped me. Tried with me to upload my video through WhatsApp, and it's accepted by for its format. The application form itself is very simple. Just input your data, your background, your experience, and how what's your goal, what's your vision. Very simple.
And what was your reaction like when you found out that you had been selected as one of the young leaders?
I can't believe in the first, but actually, I just talked to my mother and to my brothers and just accepted.
And tell us a bit about what happened next. So you were told that you had made it, you were one of the young leaders. What happened after?
Um, After that, we have the visit to Paris for a week, and it's unforgettable moments with such unforgettable ladies, such an this network with different cultures, with different countries, with different mindset and different experience. It's had a great impact on me. Also visiting Paris for the first time actually is a very fantastic experience for me. Uh, Visiting also mega companies like Google, Total Energies, KMBG. Um, this experience, I'm sure it will be forget from my mind. After that, we have the opportunity to have webinars and mentorship sessions individually and the groups. We have a continuous contact with the initiatives and the sponsorships. So it means a lot for me. Learning everything about the entrepreneurship, seeing on the land what's Google do, what's KMBG, what's the Total Energy as our customer in petroleum. I'm seeing it on land, so it's a dream for me. But actually, after that, a continuous feedback and continuous contact with the group during the mentorship session and webinars, it had a great impact for me. Also, I have an email for what we should meet again during the end of this year. So it's a great experience also.
What was it like meeting the other women and networking with them?
Every lady or every girl, I have said, have its own experience, have its own journey. For me, in Egypt, it's fully difficult and different from Gabon, from Cameroon, from South Africa. Uh, it's great difference culture and great difference obstacles. I dream to visit every country and visit every journey. It's a great and forgettable moments.
It really does sound like it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone else who might be thinking about applying this year?
If you believe in yourself, just apply. The process is doesn't difficult. If you believe in yourself and if you believe in your journey and what your experience and what your impact in your surrounding or your students, your colleagues, if you have an impact, just apply.
Just take the leap. Like you had 30 minutes, but you still decided, and look, you were selected as one of the young leaders. So it's so amazing to actually hear about your experience and to hear about how enriching it's been. Before I open up the floor to some questions from the audience, I just wanted to find out from you about, if we're thinking about the work that you do. We're looking at chemicals, we're looking at SciMediator as well as a teacher. What are your thoughts then on the role of AI or big data in chemistry and petroleum research? How important would you say that technology is now in terms of the work that you do?
Yes, yes, yes. It's a very important topic to be taken consideration, especially in our focus or topic of research. We should to employ this new technology in our research. It facilitates many steps of research. For me, I have enrolled AI in my research. Simplify, we can do ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Gemini on the simplified process. But in the research or in the R&D, we can put a huge software which accelerate and shorten the time of research and chemicals, providers, conditions, or give me the optimum condition for my experiment or my target of experiment. So it's low cost and also shorten the process, shorten the cost, shorten the effort I do. On the other land, we can involve the AI in the inspection, in the drilling, in every topic of science. We should involve the AI.
So it's incredibly important. Now, you've studied for many years, you've been working for many years as a teacher, as a researcher, so many different hats that you have. What would you say is one habit or mindset that has helped you stay resilient in the face of any challenges that you might have encountered?
Reading, just reading. every minute I have a free minute, I just read scientifically or art or I mean news or anything. Continuous reading habit. It's my only habit actually. I love reading and I love be updated with the latest news, latest research trends, and also what's happening in the world. I'm just living in Egypt, so what happened in America, what happened in France, what happened in Gabon, so it should be updated.
So making sure that you're just across and continuously learning
Yes.
is your habit. So I'm going to open up the floor now, just because I've received some questions, and I want to make sure that I am able to ask as many questions as possible. So the first question that I have is, what's the most fulfilling part of your work?
Excuse me again.
What's the most fulfilling part of your work? What do you enjoy the most about your work?
Um, Being or working by my hand in my lab with my experiment. Just put this in this and take the results.
Okay, and another question is, if you weren't a scientist or entrepreneur, what career do you think you would have pursued?
I think entrepreneurship is involved in all the fields, not related to the science, not related to the sales, not related to the AI. I think it's a new trend for every factory or for every industry. So just put your idea and apply it on the land and put your imagination for your startup, and you will have your company.
Okay, how do you balance research, entrepreneurship, and your personal life?
Actually, being a single itself is an advantage for me. I have many time, all my time actually is for research. So most of my time is in my lab and with my students. So I do balance with my mother and my products, but the main time for the research.
Mhm. Okay, and what's one thing about you that people would be surprised to learn?
Uh, I think the AI is what we should focus on today. How it works, how it will be applied in every aspect of science. How you could take your advantage, take the most advantage from it, but in peaceful, actually.
And what's one thing about you? Oh no, I just asked that one. Looking ahead, what are your top three goals for the next 5 years? So your top three goals for the next 5 years.
First one, to be promoted for a professor role, and also to spread or accelerate my startup SciMediator to be viewed internationally, and to get also a new partners um, to be also internationally viewed through interdisciplinary or a partnership with the international entities. Uh, and the third one, I think I'll be married in the third.
Big goals. So another question is, if you could give one key piece of advice to young scientists and researchers, what would it be?
One thing is study, put your vision or your dream with what you could do actually. Not be the top, or not be the down, but how could you achieve it actually on the land? Dream, you have the right to dream, but what could you do is the key. Study and learning, be patient, and also be passionate what we.
That's good advice. So how can aspiring researchers and innovators get involved with SciMediator?
Actually, we involve the AI in the SciMediator startup, not an innovation or not an invention itself, but it's a link, a platform with link, researcher with facilities. I just collect the data and put it in the platform, and being seen for everyone who want to do anything. Just connect me and I will connect you with your facility.
Okay, so they just need to reach out to you. Another question is, what's next for you and your projects?
For me personally, my project, scientific projects, is the main target for me right now. as I said in the beginning, the Egypt USA project is the main focus for me this time. Establish that a plan to the research, get the partnership or make my team or my teamwork, collect the students, which will help me in the projects. Also to be updated with the latest trends in my fields, to be competed. I should make my invention and make my innovation to be seen and to be recognized also.
And you mentioned that you enjoy reading. Do you have a favorite book?
Yes, but in all in Arabic. So also how women think, or how to be a woman, how women think, but I don't know who is the writer actually. But in Arabic, there are many books.
Maybe you can mention one of the books in Arabic. Maybe one person in the audience might be able to find it.
Okay.
So you can share one of the names.
Okay. قواعد العشق الأربعون.
Okay, and that is that about women?
The 40 rules for love.
Ah, okay, interesting. Another question here is, what is your typical day like?
Just come to my work on 9 o'clock and leave on 6 o'clock, and just reading for 2 hours and sleep.
And who is the most inspiring woman that you know or that you've read about?
Read about actually we have in Egypt some scientists which have a great impact on the Egyptian society. Also, during my visit to Paris, I visited the what is France embassy, but I don't remember the names. But I inspired by her journey. I actually will get her name and back to you.
Okay. Another question is, why was it important for you to participate in the Women in Africa initiative?
I actually, in that time, was looking for the help for mentorship and the help for accelerate my startup and finding the network or partnership who could activate or accelerate my work, actually.
Okay. And got a question that's been sent onto my phone, so I'll read it off from there. What guidance would you offer to other researchers, especially women across Africa?
Just give me a minute. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Excuse me again, the question.
The question is, what guidance would you offer to other researchers, particularly women in Africa, who might be considering a career, an entrepreneurial career in the scientific field?
From my side, I'm focused on the chemical engineering or the chemical environmental science, which had a positive impact on the society. So I'm applying all my research on the environmental science that I mentioned for air quality and water quality. But I don't know what is the main question related to, but actually for the environmental science.
Okay, I have another question, and they're asking about the project that you mentioned earlier in the webinar that starts in October. Can you elaborate a bit more on what it's about?
Actually, it's about how to treat the contaminants in the water for water treatment by new and novel chemical products. So we have to innovate a new product from polymers and nanomaterials, which could remove the contaminants from dyes, from organic pollutants, from metals or heavy metals, from the water to be recycled or to be reused.
Okay. And if you could have dinner with any scientist or entrepreneur, past or present, who would it be and why?
Mary Queen.
Okay. Yes, she would be a great one to have
Of course.
dinner with. Okay, I'm just scrolling through because I have quite a few, so I'm just going to pick something out. How simple was the application process for applying for the Women in Africa's Young Leaders Program?
It's very simple, as I mentioned. Just prepare your documents, your certificates, and order your experience, your background of studying, input your data, record your video about yourself. It's a 5 minute video with your experience, your background, your bio, what's your hobby, what's your goals, and just upload it. It's very simple.
Okay, good advice. Another question is, have you ever experienced self-doubt in your career and how did you push through it?
Actually, the main obstacle is to find the right supervisor. Second, the right topic for research, and how to provide yourself what you need to have from chemicals, from infrastructures, from devices, from everything you should have. If you have a magic idea and you haven't it's a material or it's a device which you will work in, so you couldn't achieve anything.
Okay, so it's about just finding out the information you need that will help you, I guess, with the confidence you need to move forward. Another question is, what's one thing you love about your Egyptian heritage that influences your work?
The Egyptian history itself is an inspiration. Just look to the pyramids and go to template. You could imagine how the intelligence and how the scientific meaning of the Egyptians was. The colors, the drawings, and the templates, and the pyramids. It's a legacy itself. So I get the inspiration from it.
It definitely is an amazing heritage. How do you unwind after a long day of research and running SciMediator?
We have a five co-founders. I am the main co-founder, so we have one who manage the daily activities and the chat box and the orders and something like that. And we have the one who deals with accounting and the financial board and the consultancy for me and for my professor. So I am the last step in the process. I deal with it in the end of my day. So it's a tiny part of the process, but the main part is how to connect researcher. And this is what my colleague do actually.
And how do you relax at the end of the day?
I'm just reading my book and sleep.
Okay. Let me pick another question. If you, I think you kind of touched on this before, but if you weren't a scientist or an entrepreneur, what would you be doing?
If I'm an entrepreneur or a scientist.
If you weren't, if you had a different career, is there something
Yes.
else that you would be doing?
Actually, I can't see myself just a chemist, just a scientist.
So you're doing exactly what you love, which is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Another question is, if you could give advice to your younger self, what would it be? What advice would you give to younger you?
To travel early. I didn't do it actually just in 5 years ago. But if I will be a young, I'll be travel a lot in my young stage.
Do you have a personal mantra or a personal quote that you live by? So is there any quotes that stick out to you that you live by and use?
Actually, not.
Okay.
Actually.
Let me just scroll through this. What's the biggest lesson life has taught you outside of science and business? So I guess in your personal life, what's the biggest lessons that you've learned outside of the work?
To be more contact with my family.
So
Uh,
spend more time
yeah,
with the
yeah,
family.
yes.
Okay, and I'm just scroll here. Was there a moment, was there ever a moment when you felt like giving up, and how did you overcome it?
Yes, yes, a lot, a lot. But I'm just relax. I'm calm down and just say you could do it. You could do it.
What's the proudest moment of your career so far?
Um, Being honored with my PhD and be selected for WIA, Laureate 2024, and this week from my project acceptance. This is a 3 milestone in my journey.
Okay, and what's a favorite place you've traveled to and why?
The favorite place for me after Upper Egypt, Aswan and Luxor, I loved the Canada so much, so much. The quiet place you should to live in.
And what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Again, I could say the heritage of Egyptian, past Egyptians. It's a fantastic lesson and a fantastic history.
And this is the last question I'm going to ask you. What do you want people to remember most about you?
Actually, a difficult one. um, the impact of my work actually is what I'm really should do about work on it about take my time to be a positive impact in my society, leave a positive impact after my pass. Just the one who say she did an useful thing and like what I'm hearing about my father actually. He did that, he did that, he did that. So I hope I have a positive impact which be remembered after me.
So we have about a minute or less. I want to hand it over to you just to maybe share any advice that you have for anyone that's listening, any type of inspirational, something that you might want to share. So I'm going to hand over to you, Dr. Walaa.
Thank you. Firstly, it's nice to meet you, Lisa, actually. I hope it be repeated soon. For the advice, please do what you love and what you're passionate about. Travel a lot, read a lot, and study and learn. Just in case you have an idea and you believe in it and will be an impact, just apply it. Try to find the mentor who will guide you. Try to find the method or the path you should take and believe in yourself.
An amazing note for us to end on. Dr. Walaa, thank you so much for your time and congratulations again for being selected as one of Women in Africa's Young Leaders.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the audience as well for tuning in.
Thank you all.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye bye.